right. So this is kind of going to be an unscripted, no notes sort of ramble on how my meet went, what I'm going to do to what what I did wrong, I think, what I'm going to do to change it, and how things are going to be going forward for me training wise. The meet went well. I picked conservative numbers to hit at the meet, and I hit them. So went according to plan. The issue with my training going into that meet is I was beating the shit out of myself. I was just, it was kind of one of those things where it's like you're regulating volume and intensity, but your light days became your heavy days, sort of thing, right? So it was just brutal. So what I was trying to do was have this sort of rotating, heavy speed in rep days, and have those rotating, and then have accessories backing them up, in addition to some secondary lifts. It just got to be too much. So I push too hard, I think, in the gym. I push all my sets too hard. I struggle to dial it back, and I'm insecure always that I'm not doing enough. Maybe that's a personality defect. Maybe it's insecurity. I don't know. But the problem with being a guy like that who thinks they're never doing enough is they think that they're the guy who's not doing enough, right? Like there's the guy who pushes too hard, and then there's a guy who needs to be told to push harder. So I always think I'm the guy who needs to be told to push harder, but I'm not. I'm the guy who pushes too hard and needs to dial it back. Which sucks because I want to push hard. But I was just, it was so bad that it was affecting my sleep. I was catching little dings here and there. Caught some random back ding thing. Elbows are trashed. All this stuff just out of nowhere, right? So I think that was more or less overtraining. Overreaching at the very least. So my plan going forward is not trying to hybridize any systems. Because when you're trying to take the like what I was doing with the cube method, and I was just taking conjugate principles and sort of jamming it in there, it just got to be too much. It was like I was doing 3 squat variations, 4 deadlift stuff like that. Just because, I want to do everything, and I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, right? But that's not how this works. I have a limited energy, limited recovery resources, limited energy in the gym. I was in the gym for 2.5 hours most days, and I don't take excessive rest periods neither. Could I be better about my rest periods? Sure, who couldn't? But 3 or 4 minute rest periods in between big sets, not that bad, right? But I was just overdoing it, and it bit me in the ass. My sleep still hasn't recovered, even though I've dialed training way back. It's not where I want it to be yet. It's better, but it's not where I want it to be yet. But yeah, when you're taking these two, it was so Sam Sheether had that video, the 2 types of strength training, where he was talking about you have like a traditional system where it's like I don't know, for example, like a standard linear periodization, you're getting all your stimulus off of competition movements, right? To build muscle and build strength, right? And then you have the bifurcated system where you're doing the competition movements just for practice, and just for skill building, or to for the neural adaptation. But then you're getting your hypertrophy from accessories. I was trying to combine the two. I was getting, I was jamming on my comp lifts, and then I was crushing the accessories too, and it was just so much. And it's because I'm insecure that I'm not doing enough, that I'm not going to make progress, so I'm going to spin my wheels, I'm going to waste my time. Which, there's pros and cons to that, right? I know I care. It's if I'm beating the shit out of myself that bad, I know that I care. But I don't think it was sustainable. So, going forward, I'm going to stick to just a standard conjugate template, more or less, right? I mean, so, a normal conjugate thing would be max effort squat, max effort lower, max effort upper, dynamic lower, dynamic upper. I'm going to take that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to cap all the max effort work at RPE 8-ish, whatever that means. The goal is a strain, not a grind, right? No breakdown. I want a weak point to show up, and then I get out. That's it, right? I want, like, for example, I want my hips to shoot up on a squat, and that's it. I don't want to have to grind through it and, have my vertebrae shoot across the room as they blow out my back. That's not what I'm going for. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take some max effort deadlifts as well. So if I take a squat and a deadlift in the same week, I have to chop it so that it's just in that sort of straining area, right? So just an RP 8 or whatever, 7 to 9. And that's it. Other than that, just normal ass conjugate. I'm going to do speed work. That's it. That way, I'm not going to just kill myself every time I'm in the gym. I got my big lift. Then I got my accessories, or my special exercise, my accessories, and that's it. Past few days, I've been in the gym hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes at most. I could trim that down if I was a little bit more accountable with my rest times, and that's my fault. But like I don't need to be doing all that work. I'm glad I was doing it because I learned from it, but it was too much, right? So I'm just I don't know how. I'll be completely honest. I guess there's some insecurity with work ethic because of how in the past I was lazy. And there's some insecurity there. There's some insecurity because in the past I wasted time drinking. And I feel like if I can push myself in the gym as hard as I can, then that keeps me as far away from being that guy as I can be, which is good in theory, but in practice it's not sustainable. And the thing about that guy who I was is I still am that guy. I can't. I have to take care of that guy. I can't just try to shut that guy off because that guy's me. I need to take care of that guy, and that means I need to say, okay, just because I'm not drinking anymore, and I'm in a lot better place, and I'm going back to school, and I'm getting everything set up to achieve my goals. That doesn't mean that that's how I don't be that guy, right? That's the beating the shit out of myself as kind of like punishment, or as because of like trying to force it. That's not productive. That's how I burn out. The gym is not the solution to my mental health issues. The gym is something, is my passion. So in order to be a better person, I need to learn to not fix all my problems in the gym, and I need to learn that it's okay to take something to an RP 8 or 9. I don't have to take everything. I don't have to crush myself. It's smarter not to crush myself. And Conjugate as a system has always appealed to me, because it's a good combination of doing smart stuff but still been able to ape out and chimp out on the weights a bit. So I think if I can control myself with this system, I'm in a much better place to make progress, and I'm in a much better place to achieve my goals and learn a system instead of just cramming shit together and hoping that something sticks. So, right on.